Watch this frantic, constantly spinning mechanism. When it suddenly jams and grinds to an absolute halt, it captures the exhausting reality of acting as an emotional emergency button for everyone else. You give, you explain yourself, and you constantly try to keep the peace. You likely believe that being relentlessly available makes you valuable to the people you care about. Yet this often has the opposite effect. The more you try to be visible, the easier it is to be taken for granted and ignored. Contrast this with individuals who command a room without saying a word. They don't beg for space or shout to be heard. They simply withdraw, and the environment changes to accommodate their absence. Operating with constant, desperate availability doesn't build value. It ensures you stay devalued, turning you into a resource that people use only when they need validation. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche realized that most people are trapped in a cycle of over-explanation. He saw that those who feel a constant need to convince others are already at a disadvantage. Nietzsche called this herd morality. It is the societal conditioning that teaches you that your worth is tied to how agreeable and responsive you are to the needs of the group. The mechanics of this trap are simple. When you are always available, you become predictable. And in any social dynamic, that predictability allows others to treat you as a tool, an emotional safety net they can use and then set back on the shelf. Living purely to meet the expectations of others is not a virtue. It is a psychological prison where your own value is sacrificed for the comfort of the herd. To break free, we must look to Nietzsche's ideal of the Übermensch, or the Overman. This is the psychological state of one who has transcended the need for external validation. The Overman does not react to the world, he forces the world to react to him. He shapes his environment not through loud arguments, but through the weight of his own silence. True internal mastery is demonstrated when you stop trying to win the interaction and instead lean into the power of absolute, sovereign absence. This starts with a difficult first step: kill the urge to respond. During any conflict, your biological instinct will push you to justify your actions or prove you are right. You must suppress that instinct. Every time you give in and explain yourself, you are signaling that you are still under the other person's control. Step 2 is surgical observation. Instead of defending your position, step back and let the other person fill the silence. This scale shows how the dynamic shifts. Without your reaction to balance the scale, the other person's words begin to pile up. As they try to fill the void, they naturally expose their own insecurities and the arrogance they use to hide them. By refusing to play the expected role, you turn your silence into a mirror, forcing them to confront the psychological weaknesses they've been projecting onto you. Step 3 is mastering the pause. Social interactions rely on a rhythmic exchange of cues. By stretching the silence beyond what is comfortable, you disrupt that rhythm and weaponize time itself. Most people rely on immediate feedback to gauge their standing in a conversation. When that feedback is removed, the silence creates a vacuum. To navigate this uncertainty, the human mind often defaults to its own anxieties, projecting internal fears to explain why you aren't responding. A simple, sustained look combined with this silence is often more effective than any argument. It allows the other person's own projected fears to do the work for you. Step 4 is completely inverting the gravity of the interaction. By withdrawing your constant presence, you become highly unpredictable. You stop being a reactive pawn. Your unavailability forces the dynamic to revolve around you, making you the gravitational center of the conversation. This strategy comes with a warning. When you stop being a reliable resource for others, it causes an immediate shift in your social weight, which can cause long-standing structures in your life to break. Those who have built their sense of control around your constant availability will feel threatened. They will likely attack your character, calling you cold or distant, because your silence removes the emotional relief they are used to extracting from you. You must accept the reality that establishing these boundaries will result in the loss of certain relationships. This friction is not a sign of failure. It is the necessary result of reclaiming your sovereignty and showing that you are no longer a tool for others to use. Reframe these losses as a victory. You are only losing those who valued the role you played for them, rather than the person you actually are. This leads to what Nietzsche called the solitude of the strong, a state of total presence within yourself, where your worth is no longer up for negotiation. When you are no longer available for everything, your presence becomes rare, and in any environment, rarity creates value. Decide today to stop being the easy target. Embrace strategic absence, and let your silence become your most powerful shout of authority.